In this review, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Vintage Collection Darth Maul with updated photo reel. Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video, and welcome to my review of the Star Wars Vintage Collection Darth Maul figure. He literally came out today pretty much. I got him in the post today. I want to thank In Demand Toys for getting him out so quickly to me. I do have the rest of the wave to review as well, which is pretty awesome. And the difference between this figure and the original release is that he's had a completely new face paint using the photo reel technology. And believe me, there is a stark difference, and we're going to go through that in a second. But I just wanted to show you the packaging quickly and the difference between the packaging and the original figure. So this one is VC86 in the line. He does keep the number even though he is a repack or reissue. And as you can see there, awesome image of Darth Maul there from the Phantom Menace, and we've got the Phantom Menace logo there. This is the first Phantom Menace figure that has been released since the Vintage Collection came back, which is a bit weird, isn't it? I think we've had, I don't know, 60 odd figures probably by now since it came back, maybe 50, something like that. And this is the first Phantom Menace one, so that's something to think about. Hopefully we'll get some more, but new figures perhaps in the future. So there's Darth Maul on this card, and as you can see, the back of the card, VC86. Now, I did think perhaps that this new wave, or the reissue wave, may have the new wave that's going to be coming out with the Luke Skywalker, and we may have got our first look at 5s, but it doesn't. It just has the other wave that's recently come out as well. And I do just want to compare the card back. So I do have the original VC86. You can see the back of VC86. The original version here is so much better. Lots more going on of the other things that you can buy in the line. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen anymore. You know, the cards have all this multi-language stuff and a load of legal stuff on the back, and it just, yeah, they just don't look as good, essentially. But looking at the front of the card, you can see there that the images are pretty much exactly the same. The name pill is pretty much exactly the same, apart from the font on this one is slightly bigger. Phantom Menace colour there is a slight difference, but that could be the age of the card, I don't know. And of course we do have the warning in the corner of the new one, and the age thing is a little bit different there as well. But the main difference is how the figure has been packed in the bubble. The old Vintage Collections ones had a slimmer bubble, which you can see there, and therefore they pack the figure in a bit differently. This one, they've been able to move the accessories and keep those separate, so he hasn't got his plastic hood on, and you can see the accessories are just placed slightly different within the bubble. It does mean that the bubble's slightly bigger, but I don't really mind that. You can't really tell that much, really. It doesn't really affect the image, as it were. So that's one thing, but I do prefer the way he is packed in. And it does give you a chance to see the face sculpt and the technology they've used to paint the face in today's standards, basically. And we're going to get this figure out. I don't have Darth Maul loose at the moment, so this is really good for me to get this figure again, because obviously I'd rather pay $13.99 to have a loose Darth Maul than this one, which probably goes for, I don't know, maybe £50 on the secondary market or something like that. Perhaps not now, obviously, because this one's out. The value of this one's probably decreased a little, but I did want to compare them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be able to get this one out. We'll have a good look at the figure, and then we can like line him up against that figure, because you still can see the head of that figure, but this one is a huge improvement, and we'll see that in a second. Alright then, so here he is out of the packaging, and I've got to say straight away, the photo reel tech that they've used on the head there looks really, really good. It's got to be said, they've done a great job. I mean, you've got to remember, this is a 3.75 inch figure. Very difficult to get the detail on a head that small, but I think they've done a really, really good job. I mean, if I bring in the previous version, if we can just see, I mean, I know he's going to be in the packaging. It's going to be a bit of a thing to compare them, but I think this face just has a lot more life in it. The eyes are a lot clearer. They look a lot more menacing, and I just think the face paint on this particular one, the older one, around his mouth, especially in his nose, it kind of loses some of the features, and he just doesn't look as angry. And I think this one just makes him look a lot more menacing. Really, really good figure. But as I said, this is the first time that I've had this figure loose, so in that respect, from a repack point of view, I'm pleased that this is one of the ones that they've done, because it gives me the opportunity to get this figure loose and also to review it. I didn't really want to be opening my carded version that I've had for a number of years. But yeah, the paintwork is really, really good. Now, like with all figures, there are some complaints I have with this figure, and the major complaint I have with it is the head in terms of the articulation. That is as far back as it will go. And I always find that he looks down too much, and I just really want to make him look up as much as possible. And it just won't go. It just gets restricted because of the back of his head there. And that is as high as it goes. So even when you've got your figure standing there like that, he looks like he's looking down a little bit, which is a bit of a shame. As you can see, he's full of soft goods. He has this soft goods cape, which I have to admit, again, I've never been that much of a fan of because of the frayed edges that it has. I think his soft goods that he has, or his robe that he has in the film, isn't as tatty as that. I mean, this one is really, really tatty on the edges. I really don't think it's like that. I know he's a Sith and what have you, but I think his robe is a lot more clean cut than this figure suggests. But again, you can't have everything. You can take it off, which we'll do now, which will leave him with his sort of undergarments. And I think this is probably how I'm going to have him displayed. So when he's taken his robe off and he's just about to go into battle with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, I think that's how I'm going to display him. I do like the soft goods on the lower half of the figure. I think that's a nice little touch, and they seem to flow quite nicely. It's just the robe that I don't like. It looks more like a sort of witch's robe or something, in terms of the tattiness of it. So that's something that I'm not really overly impressed with. He does come with a hood which is made of harder plastic, which can just go over his head like this, which will obviously look better if you have the soft goods robe on. And again, I'm not really a massive fan of these particularly, and this one covers up lots of his face. So I suppose you could have him in some moody poses with that on, but with the effort they've gone with to do the photo reel on the head, then I really want to display that head and show that off in my collection, because I'm really liking that. It's really good. Now the figure does come with the accessories that he came with originally. So you get the double bladed lightsaber. Nothing really much has changed there. Comes apart as per usual. So you can have him with a single blade if you like, which is awesome. And you can have him with the double as well. And very nicely you've got the unlit hilt as well, which is pretty cool, which doesn't come apart. That's all one piece. Still pretty cool. And then he also comes with these, which I presume are his little binoculars that he uses to search for the Jedis and what have you. I presume that's what that is anyway. Again, I won't be doing anything with that. That'll probably stay in the packaging. But vintage collection figure, got loads of articulation, as you'll imagine. As I said, I'm a little bit disappointed with the head, and that's as far as it goes back. You can just see there the neck joint constantly looking down. Even when you have it up like that, he's still looking down, which is a slight issue for me. But he has articulation on the shoulders and the elbows. His gloves swivel like that. He has waist articulation, swivel hips, ball jointed knees, and obviously ankle joints as well. So plenty of articulation. You're going to be able to get him in loads of decent poses. And yeah, I'm just really happy with the way the heads come out, really. Really good. Nice and bright, vibrant colours. Let me know what you think of this figure in the comments section below. And of course, if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like down below and subscribe if you are new to the channel. And of course, I will be reviewing the other 3 figures from this wave as well in the next coming days. So be sure to check that out. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and we shall see you on the next one.